Hello everyone and welcome back to our Ark Survival Ascended series. I am Survivor K and yeah, we need a break from caving. And today we're gonna go through what I've done in the off time. And it was about time for an update, right? So let me show you what did I get from the amount of caving. And the reason why I'm mounting a Therizino right now is because I finished the Therizino line. Sure, and I am starving. Here, let me fix that. Cool, so let me show you what I got from caves first, and then we can go into the Therizino stuff, because I'm sure a lot of people are going to be curious about this. So, out of 10 runs of the swamp caves, probably more than 10 runs, but 10 runs overall with loot, right? I got 10 blue, it's a guaranteed drop, and 10 red, it's a guaranteed drop, and I got about 6 yellows, which is not that much. Out of the 10 blue, this is the loot that I got. Quite a massive amount of ascendant stuff, which is oddly odd from a blue drop. And look at this, 504. I mean, what the flying helicopter is this thing, man? 312 crossbow, this is insane. This kind of drop was specifically only for events and extinction drops, if I'm not mistaken. But now you can find them in blue drop. This is insane, man. The loot is weird. Right, so those were the 10 blue from the swamp cave. The next one, 6 yellows. Out of 6 yellows, the same problem. A lot of weird stuff here. Nothing useful. Yeah, right. Nothing particularly useful, but this piece. 596 armor. I mean, how much more broken can this be? What the Okay, and 207 gilly. This is kind of good, actually. It's really good, actually, for when we're gonna go towards scorched earth eventually. Next one, 10 red. In the swamp cave, 10 red. Plenty of stuff. Ascended Anki saddle and whatnot. Yeah, I threw out a bunch of detonators and the what's it called, the consumables, because there was no point in showing them. You're gonna get detonators every now and then there, so there's that. This is what I got out of 10 of those. Very impressive armor, not as useful loot. Again, like let me show you loot comparison and you tell me if this is fair. 463 armor, blueprint albeit, and we got the, where was it? Where was the other helmet? Never mind. 463 armor from the helmet, and it was a chest with 596 from a yellow. And if you go to the blue, you get stuff like this also. You get 188 gilly, which is kind of the same. I mean, I don't know, man. This doesn't look fair to me. Like, doesn't look like a fair distribution. Anyways, it looks very overpowered. This was the swamp cave. Next one, the lava cave. Now, this was more tricky because there's no there's no red drop, but I managed to find 8 yellows and 10 blues. Now, blue is almost a guaranteed drop, although I've done them, I think this one was around 15-16 times until I got 10 blues, and in that process I got 8 yellows, which is very good. And let's take a look again on this thing. 127, okay, they toned it down a little bit. It's still very high. Look at it. 452 in a yellow drop. Again, it's insane. It's insane. Same thing, I trimmed down the consumables. You're gonna receive a lot of this kind of crap. I put it out of the fridge just to show you what you can have alongside these things. Right, this was the 10 blue. Next one, 8 yellow, inside the lava cave, again. A lot of saddles that are not really useful. Ascended Capro, Ascended Phiomia, Mammoth, probably I'm gonna go with the Mammoth to kill the bosses, apparently. Mutated the wrong thing. A good Buffo saddle, which I don't hate. But everything else is so highly overpowered. So highly overpowered and rather useless. Like what you're gonna do with this is good also. What you're gonna do with an Ascendant Fiumia saddle, man? I don't know. Anyways, and the last one, and was the most disappointing one because I had to run it at least 15 times and I managed to get only 7 blue. Oh, I did get 2 reds, which I don't know if that was a bug or something, but I got 2 reds in the same cave, and after that I got no more reds. So it's very strange. Easy underwater cave. So 7 blues. This is what you get from 7 blues. I forgot to take this out. Thank you. And this out. So we got the detonator. Again, take this out. Nobody cares about these. We got the detonator in the blue one, and we got some bullets and helmets and Ascended Carno saddle and Ascended Trike saddle. And this is a good one that will help us do the easy ice cave, right? The one you go on foot. Very good, this one. Everything else, not as much. Maybe they are done if I would have taken one. Right, next one. 4 yellow. On the 4 yellow, all I got is an Ascendant Megalodon saddle, which is remotely close to being usable, and this compound bow, which again may help us do the thing, right? Do the easy ice cave, but not as much. I'm just saying, if we have that rifle, I don't think this is gonna be remotely close to what that rifle can do. Cool, fairly useless also. Lovely. 4 yellow. 2 red. In the 2 red, I got this monster, which is extremely expensive. Extremely expensive. I mean, 5,700 polymer is insane. And another soup. And yeah, bullets and Tuso saddle. I don't have a Tuso yet, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna have one. But hey, and an Ascended Plessy platform. This is it. This is it. This is the most useless, in my opinion, cave so far. It used to be my favorite cave, honestly. It used to be my favorite loot cave because it was so easy to go in. And it was so quick. You had the guaranteed drop at the entrance. It's not there anymore. It's not guaranteed anymore. You had a yellow drop mixed with a red drop on the line in Ark Evolved, on the way to the artifact, and you had a yellow one in the artifact chamber. And it used to be so easy to get saddles. Well, not necessarily easy, but much more reliable. So right now I got only 2 reds. I mean, that's nothing. Anyways, this is it. That's rather disappointing, and this is surprisingly overpowered, and this here, I don't know, it's, yeah, it's kind of underwhelming, I'm just saying. Cool. Now that's it with the loot. I'm probably gonna go and I don't know. I'm gonna go and grind them some more and see maybe we're unlocked with the Rex saddle and a Megatherium saddle, because at this point only Megatherium saddle it's holding us back from doing the Brood Mummy. Now for the Therizinos, let's check them out a little bit. We started from the clean line like this. 8k health, 335 damage. Lower oxygen, lower food, right? This is the base that we started with. And after 100 mutations, we put roughly 16 damage and 40 in health. We came up with these guys. 22k health from mutations and 981 melee damage. These things are beasts, I'm telling you. They are beasts. And this is not imprinted. Now the imprinted one, you see only 1 point. I just finished it. I just finished it, right? The imprinted one, 1,100 melee damage and 26,000 health. Man, I'm stuttering. What the heck? This is insane. This is insane. So this is how you can do it, right? You can breed yourself a bunch of really massively overpowered dinos, and you can take the arcs down with just 2 mutations. I don't think you need anything else. I think Rexes can ruin everything. Maybe in Genesis 2. you're gonna need to do again for Shadow Main, maybe, but that's optional. And mind you, the Shadow Mains have low armor. These guys can get the blueprint, and let me show you how much damage they deal. Why is this so eerily empty? Hello? Let me show you how much damage. So there's no point dropped in anything here. Literally no point dropped in anything. 1.1k melee damage imprinted on a parasaur. 700 damage. 700 damage. 1,900 on that poor guy. Anyways, insane. What level are you? Oh, I need to tame you, my guy. And you are a Therizino. Here. Just look at it. Just look at the cleansing it does. 2.3k on crit, on headshot on the raptors. My god, raptors have a big head. This guy is gonna destroy the dragon. I can go to the dragon with these, just like this. No levels, no nothing, just like this. 2.6k health, albeit is a little high for the dragon, because the dragon deals percentage damage with the breath, which means it's gonna ruin your health quicker if you have higher health pool, right? Not quicker, but in the same amount of hits as if you have lower health. But what I'm getting at is you're gonna take more damage, more flat damage from the breath if it gives you percentage damage, right? So we do have the Therizino being herbivores, we do have the veggie cake to heal 10% of the health, which is roughly as much as the breath does, but the veggie cake is capped at 2.1k, which means 21k health is the max you're gonna get out of the veggie cake. Now, some people prefer to go with more, some people prefer to go with less. What I can tell you is, in my experience, the faster it goes down, the less damage you take. Right? That's my experience. Get a good saddle, get it to 21k. I would do a dedicated army. Then get it to 21k and crank that damage up till there's no tomorrow. When the dragon lands, because it's gonna land eventually, if it's not bugged, when the dragon lands, you can take half his health, maybe more, and I'm talking about Alpha Dragon, in one go. So crank that damage up as high as you can and leave it as is. For the Overseer, I do recommend going with at least 30k on these guys, because the Overseer is going to turn into the dragon, yes, but you're still going to get pummeled by the drones, and you're still going to get the other versions of the bosses in there, right? Not just the dragon. So I do recommend 30, 35k maybe. Depends on how high, how confident you are. Otherwise, get the damage in. Rexes are also good, but Therizinos move much faster and attack much faster. So I prefer them to the Rexes, because Rexes being slow and clunky, you'll be surprised. Like if a target is like this, let me put it like this. If a target is like this and you just keep hitting them without moving, Rex is gonna outperform the Therizino in DPS. Hands down, they're gonna outperform the Therizino. If the target keeps moving and the Rex has to turn, especially with its turning radius being slow and big, then you're gonna have so much downtime that the Therizino is gonna outperform the Rex on the DPS. So yeah, for fights like the monkey, Rex is definitely superior. Hands down, no questions asked, Broodmother, monkey, and whatnot. For fights like the dragon, Therizino is superior because it's an herbivore. For fights like Overseer, Therizino, in my opinion, is better because it's gonna run faster and it's gonna catch the Overseer faster, and they're gonna be they have overall a much better maneuverability. So yeah, that's it. That's the update, and I am a little bit fed up with the caves. And I'm fed up with the caves because they don't give something useful. I mean, let me pop this out again. Man, what am I gonna do? Honest question. What am I gonna do in PvE? And not only, maybe in PvP also, with a 42 armor Ascended Bronto saddle? Nothing. let me tell you, nothing. What am I gonna do with the bow that costs 5k polymer, especially in PvP? You know how hard it is to keep materials in PvP? I don't pretend to know because I don't play it, but I see people playing it and they're having such a bad time grinding the holy bejesus out of these guys. And I don't know, they get their bases raided, they lose resources and whatnot, so it's gruesome, gruesome, gruesome. And man, 5k polymer? I don't want to farm it, and I have enhanced rates. I mean, what is this? What is this? Why? Wildcard. Just why? Right? I would have done the bosses by now if, for example, let's say in the blue, let's go to the lava cave. In the blue ones, I'm getting nothing. If I would have had like a 50 armor Megatherium saddle, we would have already killed Alpha Brood Mummy. If in the Swamp Cave on the yellow drop I would have had a 60 armor Rex saddle, we would have already killed the monkey. And if we in the underwater cave we would have had a Therizinos saddle with 70 armor, we would have already downed Alpha Dragon. Which, maybe not already because I still have to raise these guys, but you get my point. Right? You have plenty of stuff that can be less overpowered, it can make you enjoyable, and finish the stuff earlier. I don't need a 500 damage pickaxe or hatchet. Why? Like the only use for those things is when you have harvest element is in early game, or when you harvest element from the veins, right? We're not doing either of them here, just saying. So yeah, kind of disappointing the loot system compared to Evolved, and I'm not sure if this got changed in Evolved also, but the earlier days of Evolved, well, this was much better, let me tell you that. You had a better chance of getting lower saddles, lower armor saddles than you have now. And now everything is overpowered and it looks strange, really, really, really strange. They should have amped the rates and not the numbers, from my point of view. Like, yeah, you should definitely get saddles more often. You should definitely get blueprints more often. But man, the numbers are insane, and you don't get the good stuff anyway. So yeah, a little bit pessimistic on the loot. Maybe this is because the loot's not always spawn in the caves at this point. I know there was something like 3 loot drops per cave or something similar. So yeah, I didn't have that luck. And it gets frustrating when you're in the hands of an RNG system that simply keeps you from progressing, because otherwise everything would be perfectly fine. Cool. Now, I'm ranting so much in these Ark videos, I swear to God. Alright, so for those of you who stayed this long, thank you very much for sticking around. I do hope you find this useful when you're trying to find out or trying to see what kind of damage the Therizino does and what kind of loot do you get from each cave. Later on in the series, probably I'm going to put a loot table. I'm not sure if that's the case now, because it's not really been accurate from what I've seen. I didn't run them 100 times, but trust me, 10, 15, 16 times is more than enough to see that the drop rates are pretty bad. So if you find this useful, don't forget to do the whole YouTube Trinity, like, share, subscribe. And yeah, I really do hope you enjoy it. Cool. See you guys next time.